Hello, hello, student. Hello, students. Good morning to you. My name is Mrs. Teresa Oman Ofoli. I am your facilitator for this course, PCR276, Perception and Conflict. Today, in today's class, we are going to look at Unit 1, which is Dimensions of Conflict. And we are going to start with introduction. Our interest in this unit is essentially to deal with the concepts and common features of nonviolence or nonviolent action as means for achieving peaceful and orderly change. Of course, our learning outcome is that at the end of this unit, you will be able to explain the notion of nonviolent action. We should be able to assess the commonalities of nonviolent actions and lastly discuss the features of nonviolent actions. The notion of non-violent action. From the traditional standpoint, power resides with the government and occupiers of a hierarchical structure that expects obedience from the masses. Under this limitation, the exercise of power is based on the possession of special knowledge, wealth, and other social variables with which violence is enforced. This theory, therefore, endorses resort to violence as the only means through which those that seek power are enthroned or they enthrone themselves and exercise power. So, non-violence is not synonymous with irrational submissiveness and inconsiderate process of change. Either does it presupposes freedom from oppression. When an articulate campaign of nonviolence is sustained against a violent government, it generally increases the cost and reduces the visibility of administering violence against nonviolence, which simply appeal to the human heart and intellect that there are superior traditions rooted in education, communication, egalitarianism, and the strength of persuasion. Find attached, find attached a video of a photo of a non-violent activist. Okay, and it can be seen that the activist is not with any arm or ammunition; it's just with a microphone and placard, actually showcasing or demonstrating what she is representing. So, non-violent action basically has to do with putting down arm and actually using the voice to pass down the views of the activists. And then the commonalities of a nonviolent action. Nonviolence is a veritable change agent that is capable of sidelining resort towards and socio-political means of coercion. Examples abound in the successes that has been registered by nonviolence action. Activists like Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., and then Nelson Mandela. Mahatma Gandhi, of course, of India, and Martin Luther King of America, and Nelson Mandela of South Africa that fought against the apartheid regime. All of them did not use arms. They came through non-violent processes, and their fights were actually driven home, and the aim at which they kept speaking and using non-violent actions were achieved. So another and of course, there are all other countries out there where non-violent actions were employed over time and it was all successful. All this confirmed to us that we simply need to persist to enter into a dispensation of progress in communication, education, and public awareness in desired condition. And then lastly, we are going to also look at the features of non-violent action. Non-violent action, as discussed earlier, is the aspect of using a non-violent move to drive home a point, okay? And as peace scholars, we are always dwelling, or as peace students that we always dwell on peaceful protest, peaceful advocacy, and everything that has to do with peace. So we are not supposed to propagate the carrying of arms against one another. So you see, non-violent actions involve absolute openness. Of course, it's very transparent. It's not shrouded in secrecy. It's in the open, okay? And then also shared communication, meaning that non-violent action has to do with open communication, discussing with sincerity and driving down home your point at which you want those change to take place, okay? It's an open transition. It's an open address of you propagating what you are actually driving at. And then non-violent actions also has to do with respect for human liberty and egalitarianism. So, and at the end, at the heart of non-violent agenda is the operation of love for human liberty and egalitarianism. So, non-violent activities is based on respect for human rights, respect for love of human person, dignity of person, and therefore this protest is being carried out without warfare or without harm. Okay, and there are also other features of non-violent action. But for the purpose of this class, we are just limited to this one, okay? But we have much more in your course material. So thank you so much, students. At least we have been able to look at non-violence. And from here, after this class today, as a speech student, we should be able to imbibe non-violence action in driving home whatever advocacy you need to take or carry on, okay? So non-violence cannot be overemphasized. It succeeded in different countries like I just mentioned above, and it will still succeed in our own climate. So thank you so much for listening. See you in the next class. Bye.